Today, the Gautier Police Department is continuing its homicide investigation surrounding the occurrences that happened here in Gautier, Mississippi yesterday. The Gautier Police Department is continuing its search for a motive into the homicide death of 41-year-old Amy Prentiss of Gautier. However, the only suspect in her death remains 45-year-old Shannon Lamb, who is now deceased. Shortly after 10 a.m. on Monday, September the 14th, Shannon Lamb called the Gautier Police Department and stated that he shot and killed his wife at an address on Santa Cruz Street in Gautier, Mississippi. Lamb did not provide an explanation or a time frame for the shooting, nor did he indicate that he intended to harm anyone else. Police responded to the address and located Amy Prentiss deceased inside the residence from an apparent gunshot wound. During a search of the home, police also discovered a handwritten note signed by Lamb, which indicated his responsibility for her death and remorse for his actions. At this time, Gautier police have no indication of any relationship between the victim at Delta State and the victim in Gautier, Mississippi. We are continuing our investigation to search for a motive in the homicide of Amy Prentiss. And at this time, we'd like to play for you a 911 call placed to the Gautier Police Department by Shannon Lamb that took place yesterday, which led us to the address on Santa Cruz Street.
Gautier Police. Yes, you need to send some units over to 2320 Santa Cruz.
What's going on there?
I shot my wife last night.
You said it's 2320 Santa Cruz?
Yes. There's a dog in the house, and he's a sweet dog. He's not going to bother anybody, but I'm sure he's upset.
Okay, sir. What is your name?
That's all I feel like saying right now. Just go and take care of her. You'll find all of her family's phone numbers and things in her phone.
Okay, well,
And contact them.
okay, what is her name?
Amy Prentiss.
Amy Prentiss?
Yes.
Was she shot the night before?
We're working on an exact time frame. We don't have that as of yet because time of death will be important when it comes to that. But we do believe right now that the homicide in Gautier was committed, and he later drove to Delta State and committed that homicide up there.
It looks as though he called you all before the Delta State homicide. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. And he also referred to her as his wife.
Correct.
Do you know for sure whether they were legally married, or was that just the term he used?
We don't have any indication of that at the moment. It looks like it's a casual conversation title that they had possibly been using amongst friends.
And Matt, you said y'all talked to him later in the day. Did y'all call him on a cell phone, or?
We didn't have contact with him later in the day. Following this call that came in through our 911 operating system, we attempted to call him back because we had the phone at that point. Those were unsuccessful. Now, later assumptions were that he made contact with some family in North Mississippi, and law enforcement authorities up there are working on the substance of those conversations. However, right now it doesn't look like they pertain much to our homicide down here.
When did it come out that he said he was not going to turn himself in?
That came about after a conversation with family members that was relayed to us from a law enforcement agency in North Mississippi as a matter of officer safety.
Do you either have a criminal record down here that you know of?
Not that we can tell.
Or anywhere else for that matter?
Not that we can tell at this moment.
And you also indicated earlier there's not been any instances of domestic violence.
We don't have any indication of any domestic violence between those two parties or that residence in the city of Gautier.
Oh, a lot of neighbors are still concerned today about the dog. Can you give us any more information?
Dog was in no way, shape, or form harmed in our investigation before or prior to our arrival at the residence. The dog's been taken care of by our animal control officer, and right now the family is aware of the animal's location, and there's no indication that anything wrong has occurred to that animal.